Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Disney Top 3. This is the series where Christina and I walk around Disney and we talk about our top 3 favorite things. And today's topic is going to be things. Our top three favorite things, just like I just described there. What's your number 3 thing, Christine? Water fountains. Water fountains. I'll tell you mine. Carpets, water fountains, and my third favorite thing is hotel doorknobs.
Okay.
You don't have any. Okay.
I got nothing.
All right, then let's do a different topic this week. How about we do our top 3 favorite retired Disney World attractions?
That sounds more like it.
Okay, that sounds better. And we're going to kick off our top 3 here in the Magic Kingdom. Most of them are in the Magic Kingdom, as we found. And we'll kick it off with your number 3. So what's your number 3?
So my number 3 is what was here before Winnie the Pooh was Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Oh.
What was that noise? What was that?
I don't know. I don't really have a reaction for this one.
His reaction was, oh. So that wasn't very good. Anyway, I'm going to tell you guys why this ride is awesome. Was awesome, I guess, is the way.
But it kind of is awesome because it's still in Disneyland.
Yes, it is. And considering Rob and I have not been to Disneyland yet, I haven't been able to experience that.
So it's going to be crazy when we do go and you get to experience the ride that you've missed for so long.
Exactly. So I should have done some research. I don't know what year this changed over to Winnie the Pooh. I know it was in the 90s.
You're that old now.
I know it was in the 90s. But basically, the ride was pretty much the same track and everything that's in Winnie the Pooh. I do think they might have altered some things, like the Tigger bouncing. Like, that wasn't, like, a thing in the original ride. But Mr. Toad's Wild Ride was based on Wind in the Willows, which is a really old Disney film. So, I don't know, am I dating myself right now?
Yeah, keep adding to that age.
And it was kind of similar where you went through, like, Toad's home, and then I can't even tell you.
Can we just say it was kind of a trip? That ride was like weird.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, if you think Winnie the Pooh is trippy with like Heffalumps and Woozles, this is like 10 times that. Yeah. Like, it was weird. But it was basically, exactly the track, that Winnie the Pooh is on now. And it was really cool. It was actually probably a little bit darker, a little bit
super dark,
scarier.
I don't know if you mean literally or figuratively, but it was figuratively. It was super dark ride.
It was literally dark.
Yeah.
Because it was hard to see some of what was going on, and it was also just like dark in terms of storyline.
Right. For those who haven't ridden it, the ride ends with you getting hit by a train and going to hell. Like that's what happens.
So I don't know what this is saying about me, the fact that I missed this ride, but. Yeah, so now everybody rush over, pause this video, open up another window, and look up the ride and do a ride through. So
I actually just recently did a ride through. They recreated the ride in Disney Infinity.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just kind of miss it. Like, I like Winnie the Pooh a lot, and I think it's cool that there's actually a point in the ride where you can see Mr. Toad handing the deed to Winnie the Pooh, which I it's such a cool little throwback, an acknowledgement of it being there before. And I wholeheartedly like Winnie the Pooh. Even though when it opened I was already older, I can still appreciate it for what it is. But, there's a little space in my heart for Mr. Toad and how wild of a ride his ride was.
So my number 3 favorite retired attraction actually probably doesn't deserve to be on any list like this ever, because it's such like it's just like not a great ride at all, but for some reason I have really fond memories of it, and that's Delta's Dream Flight. Now, I guess like a little bit of history. Back when Disney World first opened, they used ticket books, right? You didn't just pay for general attendance and then you'd go on all the rides like you do today. You bought ticket books, and that's where the term e-ticket attraction comes from. That was the most expensive ticket for the, wildest rides. Right. And when Disney opened, there was one free ride, and it was called If You Had Wings, and it was the most blatant advertisement for Eastern Airlines. And when that closed down, they reopened it as Delta's Dream Flight, and it was like at that point, they moved off the ticket system. There was no real reason for it to be that blatantly an advertisement, but they did it, I guess, I don't know, to keep with the memory of the attraction or something. But it is like a cheap sort of slow ride that was meant to sell you to buy flights on Delta. And I don't know why I remember going on it so much as a kid. And I don't know why I loved it so much. It's such a weird feeling, because I know from a ride perspective it wasn't that great of a ride, but I just grew up with it. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I think a lot of our picks on this are just like nostalgia.
Yeah.
I don't think Mr. Toad was like this amazing ride, but I miss it because it reminds me of childhood.
But to be fair, at least that has like some roots in Disney history. Mine's like, I like the Delta ride with the Delta song.
I vaguely remember this ride. I can't imagine I went on it half as many times as you did.
I think the most iconic part of the ride that people might remember is there's this room where you go through and it's like you're going through the turbine of a jet engine and everything's spinning, and it's like a very bizarre effect.
Yes, I do remember that.
I will say this, Delta Dream Flight had a better song than If You Had Wings, which If You Had Wings, I didn't grow up with, so I don't have the nostalgia. That song is almost cult-like. Like you hear it. It is so creepy. It is like from a horror movie. I will lay it into it. It is the creepiest like horror cult song ever. I get creeped out with it. Delta Airlines is like, at least it's a cheesy commercial song, but you know, it doesn't make me have nightmares.
You should edit that in like right now.
If you had wings, if you had wings, if you had wings, had wings, had wings, had wings, had...
Let's do a JetBlue ride. Let's go back to our roots. JetBlue's Dream Flight. So your number 2 is actually, this is the newest retired attraction on this entire list. It's still fresh. It hasn't started to wilt yet.
I thought Maelstrom was the newest retired attraction.
No, I mean on your list. Spoilers, Maelstrom's not on your list now.
It is.
We all know now.
It almost was. It almost made it.
Right.
But
as far as our lists go, this is the freshest one. The freshest kill.
So it's the backlot tour.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's still warm. That's how new it is.
Anyway, while Rob is being weird, it's the backlot tour in Hollywood Studios. And I have fond memories of, I think I went on this almost every time I visited. Maybe not every, but almost every time that I visited. It was basically their backlot tour. It was their yeah, that was really informative.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was like it was a way for you to go into the back lot unseen, you know,
see the world through Michael Bay's eyes.
Exactly. There was this opening when you stood in line that was like, I don't know, Michael Bay talking for like 15 minutes about the magic of movies, and I think we could have picked a better director.
No way, Jose. You realize you bringing up this ride made me realize I want a Michael Bay ride.
But it was cool. So like the first section you saw, they were showing like movie magic, how they do. What was the movie that they were referencing?
Pearl Harbor.
This water scene. What was it?
Well, it was like a generic water scene getting attacked, but then they tied it into Pearl Harbor.
Yes, that's what it was, Pearl Harbor. So then, yeah, they show like, oh, this is what it looks like when you're watching it being made, but they would pick people from the audience, and then they would be on the actual boat, and it would be like this, like they were getting attacked, and all the water was flying everywhere, and of course, naturally, those people got soaked. They were like thrown in a raincoat,
yeah,
like just absolutely soaked. And so that was really cool. It was kind of like the introduction to that, and then kind of kept going, and you got to go through this whole area that had all these props from movies. Think of it almost like the props that they put before Great Movie Ride, but bigger, and changing fairly enough. And it was everything from like the Rocketeer to, I don't know, like all live action, even some animation stuff, and it was really cool. And then you would go through there, and then you would get on the tram. And then the tram,
which I just got on. I don't know where you are, but I'm on the tram now.
I'm trying to get to you.
I'm
Very
gone. I'm
poorly.
gone. I'm on the tram.
Very poorly
Goodbye.
trying to get to you. I can't get out of this queue right now. Um, but you get on the tram and it takes you through more like prop stuff. I think there was like the big Indiana Jones like plane thing back there. There was Herbie. Then you get to that scene where you're on like that bridge and it's like by
Catastrophe
the mountain.
Canyon.
Yeah, the canyon. And it was always awesome because there was like these fuel barges that would like light up on fire and you could feel it no matter where you were sitting.
Yep.
And all this water that would come rushing at you, but you never got wet. But I always enjoyed watching other people freak out. Like I knew what was coming, so I would just stop and watch other people react to it. So that was really great, and it was great. It was like narrated by a cast member, just talking about all the different props and the work they do. Then you go through like that.
The Golden Girl house was in it.
Yes. And then you go through that area that's sort of indoors where you can see all the people working on like different props and things like that. And that was really cool because, yes, they were actually working. It wasn't just like, oh, we're going to have these rooms and make it look like people are
We make the interns pretend they're working.
Yeah,
We call it the college Disney program.
It was really costume designers working on costumes and people like, planning things out. And it was just, I don't know. There was just something I really like. I like, behind the scenes stuff. I always have. When it comes to Disney, I especially love it. So it's one of those things that was fun to see without having to like pay the price of like some of their expensive tours that you can do now.
Right.
You still got to see a little bit of the magic.
It was an interesting relic of like what Hollywood Studios was meant to be, because when it opened, the idea was like it's going to be half theme park, half functional movie studio, which for a while it kind of was. They did a few productions there, but
there was some animation there.
It never lived up to what I think Eisner initially. There you are. I see you in the queue. Hello, Christine.
Where are you?
To the right. Goodbye.
Hello.
Goodbye, Christine.
Bye.
It never ended up being what Eisner really wanted it to be, or like, being that sort of competitor to Universal the way it was supposed to be at first. It was also this is a huge attraction. There's so much space used up. Like this is actually one of the retired ones where I can't even be upset that it's closed. It kind of makes sense. There's like a huge amount of space here that they could be using for something else.
Right.
But it was a fun one. It was also super long. Like they cut it down.
It was very long.
I think when we grew up, we sort of already were mostly exposed to the shortened version, because I remember it being like, what was it? Over 40 minutes, over an hour?
Yeah, it was about an hour.
It was crazy long for an attraction. I mean, today that's not what they really want out of these attractions.
Yeah. But it was kind of nice. It was a nice break from everything.
That's true. All right, let's move on to my number 2, which is back in the Magic Kingdom. I'm going to have to, I guess, just jump out of this tram. Hopefully not get banned from Disney.
Good luck. Don't break your legs.
So we're back to like right next to it's literally right next to my last favorite retired attraction. And it is the Timekeeper here in Tomorrowland, which is now the Monsters, Inc. laugh floor. The Timekeeper is such a good one. Unlike Delta's Dream Flight, this is actually a good attraction. And this was, if you've never heard of it before, it was a 360-degree film with Robin Williams and Rhea Perlman. And you even had, Scar. Jeremy Irons. Jeremy Irons. And the whole idea was Robin Williams played the Timekeeper, a robot who built a time machine, and he sends his floating camera robot, Nine Eyes, played by Rhea Perlman, back in time to experience history. And he gets stuck in a bunch of wacky antics, and you all get to watch it through Nine Eyes' 9 cameras. And it was great. It was a great show because it was Robin Williams, and he was fantastic and hilarious. And so is Rhea Perlman. And it was about time travel in the future, and that was exciting, and it was original. And just everything about it was really great. What was great about the attraction was, like, 1, they made the robot look like Robin Williams, which was pretty impressive. And 2, like, he had a very sort of, I don't know how to describe it, I guess improv style of humor, which you wouldn't expect to be the sort of thing that you'd have in an attraction because, right, it's so scripted and planned out. Yet it felt like it was Robin. You could have almost imagined that he went into an recording booth and just winged it. and that's what came out. And he's got like really, subtle jokes about Disney itself, which is great. And it's always great when Disney's, allows themselves to laugh at themselves, and that's what he did. And that just made it's had some of the best like area music. I really thought.
Yeah, I do remember and do agree with that. 100%. Yeah.
And so I miss it. I miss it more than I like Laugh Floor. This is one of the ones where I'd almost rather have the old attraction back. Actually, no. I think all of these I'd rather have the old attraction back, and I don't say that very often.
Including your Delta Dream Flight?
Yeah. Over Buzz, any day. Any day. So yeah, that's my number 2. And now we move on to your number 1, which is so far away. We need to start walking there right now. Hold on, I'm going to lower myself and we're going to start walking. And we're here.
Yep. We are where Alien Encounter used to be. And I think everybody who has watched any of our top 3s already knows.
You love Stitch.
How... Everybody knows.
She's got a Stitch tattoo on her arm.
Yes. This has been a theme through a lot of our videos because somehow it always comes up. But I hate Stitch.
Wow.
Because I know, and hate is a strong word, but it's what I chose because he took over my Alien Encounter and he ruined the ride. But anyway,
him personally, good job, Stitch.
So I've kind of talked about how this ride is before. I'll talk about it really quickly because I'm sure you've all heard it, but basically it is the same as Stitch's Great Escape except minus the humor and add a lot of
horror
things.
Yeah.
I do remember that when they showed like the promo video for this, they used an alien from like the actual movie Alien, but that wasn't the alien that was in the ride. The alien in the ride was like this creepy demon looking thing that had like wings and was just as scary. But I just always found it interesting that like when you saw the actual commercial like promo for it, it was like an alien.
Yeah, which is an interesting part of its history because it was supposed to be alien.
Right.
And then they changed the theming and they used that for a Great Movie Ride.
Right. But overall, I was telling Rob earlier, I was just watching a like ride through, which is kind of difficult to watch because it's so dark. I mean, you can see like, the beginning pretty well because they kind of shuffle you into a couple of different rooms before you get on the ride. Just to explain what this like company was doing, and basically they were messing with portals. Don't ever mess with portals.
Never.
I think we've learned that with all of our sci-fi movies.
If you ever find a portal, kids, just leave it alone.
Right. And the test subject's this cute little furry alien, and of course they lose the cute little furry alien, and what comes in but this creepy demon alien that then breaks out of the tube and starts harassing people in their seats, and you're strapped in like a roller coaster ride. Like you have an actual safety bar that comes down from the top, so you cannot get out of your chair. And you feel pounding on the floor like it's walking around. You hear it breathing in your ear, and you feel breath on your neck, which even to this day, when I think about it, I like remember that feeling. Like it was terrifying. You would hear crunching next to you, like it was eating the person next to you. I have a friend who went on it.
Wasn't eaten, unfortunately.
Well,
it was.
He sobbed because his sister was sitting next to him and he heard the crunching and he thought his sister was getting eaten. Apparently it was like super traumatic. So, completely a family-friendly Disney ride.
If you had sold me on, if you go on this ride, your siblings will get eaten, then maybe I would have been more open to riding it or something. I don't know.
I think this is my favorite because everyone who knows me well knows that I absolutely love being scared and I love horror movies. I love horror games. I think a lot of it stemmed from this experience. I know that sounds a little weird, but like I was pretty young when I went on it, and I think it was the first time I realized that like being this scared could be fun. Like it could be like an adrenaline rush. So basically, Alien Encounter was my gateway drug to horror movies.
All things horror.
Exactly.
And that is why Stitch is the bane of your existence.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you mean the best ride in all of Disney? Face the other ride.
Sorry, Gary Sinise. Even you can't save this one.
Dude, but it's Gary Sinise.
We're at Epcot, and my favorite retired attraction. Man, can I just really quickly throw in World of Motion was another good one. That almost made it my list. But no, my number one retired attraction is, of course, Horizons, because it is probably the best attraction at Epcot in Epcot history, hands down, factual, science can prove it. And I think it's up there across all of the parks. Maybe not number one, but it's close. And it, of course, was replaced by Mission Space, which has pretty much no redeeming qualities except for Gary Sinise, let's be honest.
Wow.
Sorry.
Stab me right in the heart.
Sorry. I mean, well, I'm saying except for Gary Sinise.
Okay.
It's got Gary Sinise going for it. That's about it. Horizons.
I'm refraining, Rob. I'm refraining right now. I'm holding
Horizons was a great attraction because it summed up the spirit of Epcot perfectly, and it was the perfect attraction for that park, and it had every element that you'd want in something that Tomorrowland was supposed to be, and then Future World was supposed to be, and then they removed it. They gutted it and took it away for Gary Sinise.
Wow.
I don't know. I could do a whole 30-minute video on why I love Horizons, why I think it's the perfect Epcot attraction. So I'll keep it really short, and I'll only do 25 minutes. And I'll start off by just saying that this was a ride that you don't have a lot of memories of it, but like I got super excited. You talk about how your love of horror came from Alien Encounter, but like I think my entire love of anything futuristic or sci-fi or just science related came from Horizons, because the whole attraction was, hey, look, this is what your life could be like in the future, living in space or living in the desert or living underwater. And it was like very innovative because you had the multiple choice ending there, which you didn't have in any other attraction at that time.
Right.
And you,
I getcha.
Yeah.
I getcha. I'm not hating. I'm just saying.
Because it's impossible.
I'm just saying that the ride that is currently there is pretty great.
Is a pale shadow of what Horizons was.
Okay.
Was that the answer? It was
right. That's exactly what I meant to say.
It was the sad death rattle of the Horizons' glorious long lifetime.
Well, that's how I feel about Stitch, so I guess I can understand.
So then, should I hate Gary Sinise the way you hate Stitch?
No, because it's Gary Sinise.
Okay. There you have it. Our top 3 retired attractions. There are plenty of other retired attractions out there, so feel free to let us know in the comments below what your favorite retired attractions are. If you have an idea for a top 3 that you'd like for us to do, you could let us know in the comments below as well. You can also mail it to us, because I have a Rob Plays That Game P.O. Box now, and it's Rob Plays That Game, P.O. Box 864079, Queens, New York 11386. And you can also let us know on Twitter. I'm at Rob Plays, and Christine?
I'm at Ivy Winter YT.
Now, what's that name mean? What's that for?
It means I'm on YouTube.
She's on YouTube.
Rob cannot get enough of, apparently.
She's on YouTube now. She plays video games. That's a new thing that's big on YouTube. People like to play video games and then talk while they're playing. And you guys out there might like it.
Yeah.
I think you might enjoy it.
I play kind of different stuff than Rob does. So.
Horror stuff and Stitch games exclusively, and the Gary Sinise simulator. Sinise, what would you call that? The Sinise simulator. The Sinise simulator. The Sinisulator. The Sinisulator.
I like that.
The Sinisulator 2015, way better than the 2014 version.
Yeah.
Okay. And how can they find you on YouTube playing the Sinisulator?
My YouTube name is Ivy Winter.
Yep.
So just search for that, or
there'll be a card or an annotation or something. Future Rob will take care of it. So thank you everybody for watching. Have a great week. Whatever you're doing, make the most of it. I hope to see you all next. Oh, right, we're going to Disney.
We are.
We just talked about how I could mention that. We're going to Disney in the fall, and we're going to be doing a meetup of some sort. There'll be more details in the future. We're going in September. I think the only thing we really have set like super in stone is what Magic Kingdom. We're thinking Magic Kingdom. We're going to do it.
Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom makes sense. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.